We are live, live, live. Hello, I am Sharontel Durskill, celebrity publicist, motivational speaker, and number one international best-selling author of the number one habit series for entrepreneurial success. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Wasted Studio 338 Velour. I see you. God's favor. Yes, look at you coming over to the IG. That is what I'm talking about. Yes. I'm so excited. Ah. Yay. Here we are. I'm giving everybody a moment to come in. Hello, hello. Hi, Chef Jordan Wagman. Thank you. Yay. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I think, are we there yet? Yep, we're almost there. How are you? Yes.
Hey, Sharonta.
Hey, Mawuli. How are
I'm
you?
good. I promise you, getting ready for this, I'm like, let me be on time. Let me
Uh-huh.
be all.
I'm so excited that this is happening. Like, thank you so much for saying yes. Just
Awesome.
saying yes. I
Well, awesome.
appreciate it. So I know we are so ready. Hi, Tamika Lee. I was just shouting out everybody. I used to like to
Sh-
use that little first little window to say hello to everybody
Sure.
because I
Hey,
really
everybody.
appreciate it. Like, hey. So let me tell you a little bit more about these conversations before we get started. During the let's see, January, February, March. January, I went home to Cleveland, Ohio to visit. February, I got to hang out in California for the Oscar, galas
Right.
and that weekend. And then March, I co-hosted a music event with rapper Hot Boy Turk. Right, that was my year. And then I was like, this is gonna be the best year yet. All the events were like booked. I was all set for the entire year, and then it just shut down. Right,
The
it shut
world.
down, and the world shut down. Sharon Tell shut down because I am like this. I'm this being. I need to be outside. I need to
Yes.
be with people. I need to connect. I need to hug you. And it just all shut down, and for 2 weeks, I'll be honest with you, mentally, I was no good. It was so
Wow.
different to change my entire environment so drastically, like such as being in the house. I never was a person, even as a little child, to
Right.
be in the house. So it was like, wow, I'm in the house. And then I had to take a moment for myself, talk to God, and he said, chill. Like,
Chill.
just chill.
Chill.
Started these conversations.
Well, here's the deal. COVID has caused us to take a pause and to stop and to really reassess and to
Hmm.
look inward, like really get inside ourselves and see what the best of what we have, what we're made of. So I get that. And I just want to say, just before we begin, cheers to you. Cheers to
Yes.
you.
Oh, I got my
I got,
coffee
that's all
right
right.
here. Okay, you got
Cheers to you.
yes.
Cheers to you.
Yes, cheers to you as well. I'm giving that right back to you. Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness. So I started these conversations. The goal was at first was to just come on, say hey to my friends, like we were gonna
Yes.
like bring some friends on and go live. And then I was like, choose your path. It was like just things just popped up. And then it really turned into a thing. And then I
Right.
found myself talking to some of the most amazing people in the world. This has been an amazing journey. And here we are. Oh, I have to read a little bit of your bio.
Sure.
I'm telling you, like these
Sure.
shows, I usually like jump into the conversation and we just have this, amazing dialogue. But you're such an amazing brand, and you're a writer, you're a publicist. We got a little bit in common there. So I have to read this. Gregarious human being. You're such a word guy. I love it. If you could feel it. social entrepreneur, creative savant. You bring 10 years plus with the progressive engagement and capacity building and stakeholder engagement and youth multi-sector experience that it spans municipals, right? That's absolutely amazing. Federal levels, leading major projects, all kinds of community and organizations that you're a part of. So I know that this
Right.
is going to be a very interesting conversation. Um,
Right.
your college, Carleton University. Where's Carleton University?
So I'm from Toronto, Canada.
Uh huh.
Toronto has a capital, just like the U.S. has Washington. Ottawa is our capital, and so I went to Ottawa, where our prime minister is, to study.
I love it.
Yes,
I went to college for biology with a minor in chemistry.
right.
You would have never told me that I would be in this space right now
And you're so good at
whatsoever.
it. So
Thank,
good.
thank you so much. Like, I am so inspired by reading this. Like,
Thank you.
absolutely amazing. Content creator, writer, publicist. You have interviewed some of the most amazing people in this world, such as
Yes,
Shaka Khan,
yes.
Queen Latifah, Maxwell, Devon Franklin. I love him. I like him. Very inspirational. And Oprah Winfrey.
And Miss
Tell
Winfrey.
me a little bit about that.
Well, Oprah Winfrey and I met a couple of times. We've actually met three times in our lives. The last
Hmm.
time I met Oprah, I had the opportunity to visit with her as she was shooting Henrietta Lacks, and just had the opportunity. That's a picture of us in the trailer, in her trailer. We had
Yeah,
the
yeah.
opportunity to be together, and so just speak to this world icon. Having the opportunity to share thoughts is amazing. So Oprah and I had the opportunity to have good talk, and I had a chance to interview her and speak to her about life. And then prior to that, she was here in Toronto doing her life class, and I got an opportunity to help with production for that show. And so that's my Oprah experience.
That is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely. I love also about your bio is that you talk about your professional, there's some professional endeavors
Right.
and your love of the community, youth mentorship, which is very important to me. I love to talk to the children because they're my future leaders. They're our future
Yes,
leaders.
for sure.
And someone needs to drop a seed in a good gym. Maybe some will get it right away and
Right.
some will get it later on in life and they'll be like, I remember when he came to my school. I remember he
Right.
was in my neighborhood and he said that I can do it. What do you get from what is your great joy that you get when you're talking to the youth?
Well, I believe the young people are our next generation. They are the people who we will stand on their shoulders one day, right? We will stand on their shoulders. And I think young people are the passport for those who prepare for them today. They're our educational source, they're us. And so getting the opportunity to work with young people who are incarcerated and who need to be reintegrated back in society, or who need to get jobs, or who need to develop pro-social and life skills really thrills me. And I'm able to marry my both worlds together. So I'm able to use the community side of me and to meld that with the entertainment side and create a sweet inspiration for those who want to up their lives, and those who want to get out of gang banging, and those who want to get out of, not working and being unemployed, and use that as a story. Because I believe if I can do it, anyone can. I started writing when I was 13 years old. The writing has provided an opportunity to be a springboard for me to launch into publicity and to work with entertainment types. So I believe if I can do it, then you can do it too. So when they see me, they see hope, they see possibility, they're able to look into my eyes and understand that this is possible. The atmosphere is pregnant with possibility. And so working with young people thrills me. I've worked at the Boys and Girls Club and a series of others, organizations here in Toronto, Toronto Housing Community. We did in 2013, we did a youth empowerment conference, and it was called If I Rule Toronto. Over 1,400 youth came together to celebrate and to learn about entrepreneurship, learn about what it is to really step into their purpose. We had so
That's
many
a
people
big
here.
one.
Yeah, we had Bow Wow, we had Julie Black, we had people from the NBA, Raptors, all in one place who came to inspire and to uplift our younger generation and tell them that it's possible.
And that's exactly all you need.
Yes.
Um, when I was younger, my grandmother raised me.
Hmm.
So there were mentors and clubs that she had put me in that inspired me to know that I can go outside my neighborhood. And
Right.
had they not, I could honestly be still there.
Of
Like,
course.
you know what I mean? Because I didn't think it was possible. I thought it was just something that I would see on TV. And then I realized, like, my mentor said, no, Sharon Tell, like, you can actually go to New York City. It used to be just something I would see
Yeah.
the ball drop. And I'm like, wow, when I find myself living here on the East Coast, I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. You can choose your own path. What you did was you were able to choose your own path and to chart your own territory. With your hand in God's hands, you're able to hold hands together and chart your territory. You're extraordinary yourself.
Isn't that amazing that you can do that? And now
Amazing.
and you're giving that back to the community, which we need. We definitely need. Yes.
Absolutely.
How are you doing during this pandemic? I mean, I share my experience, but how are you doing, and did you learn any lessons?
The greatest lesson that I learned is that I have enough within my spiritual reservoir to get through all the rough and tight places of my life. When things got silent, when things got quiet, I was able to, as I mentioned, look inward and really just be still, to reassess, to begin to retreat, and to create new plans, like a new action plan of how I would progress and move forward. I'm happy to report that, while things slowed down, I was able to pivot. I was able to start a business and to, make that happen and,
Congratulations.
solidify that and work with great people. One of the people that I work with is Timothy Snell, and he is the a stylist in Hollywood. He dresses Queen Latifah, dresses Whitney Houston, Angela Bassett, and was able to, partner with him and work with him. He has a curvy conversation that comes on, right? And work with other people. I was able to do some things for those in Parliament. Mitzi Hunter, who's an MPP here, and was able to, put things together. And out of George Floyd, we actually did a special conversation to look at how the George Floyd incident and how Black Lives Matter, how that affected us here in Canada, in particular here in Toronto, the city of Toronto.
I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you a secret, and it's not even a secret
Okay.
because we have so many people on here. Thank you
Yes.
guys for tuning in. But it is a very personal thing. Growing up with my grandmother and my dad being born in 1912,
Right.
right? Black man, 1912. Those experiences, that energy, that vibration, to grow up with such individuals that were going through so many different things as far
Right.
as like racism, opportunities not being available. My grandmother never learned how to read. That's what,
Wow.
pushed me into education and making sure I'm
Wow.
like, I'm going to go to school for the both of us, grandmother. You don't have to worry.
Amen.
But listening to them and then seeing what's going on today and what has been going on as I get older, it just looks like history repeating itself from what I've heard in their
Yeah.
experiences, like over and over and over again.
There's nothing new. Everything is in a circle. Everything is happening. Again, our responsibility is to look at the lessons that we got in former years and to make sure that we who are still standing, who are still breathing, who are still alive, get the opportunity to choose our path and to ensure that we are better than the generation before us. The fight will always continue, right? But we must
Right?
strive now more than ever. I believe we must strive to love one another in an uncanny way, to make sure that we hold each other's hands and to lift our brothers and sisters up who are experiencing the same thing that we do. I believe all pain is the same. I believe all hurt is the same. I believe the reason why we have this connection is because you're able to see yourself in me and me in you. And through that, we're able to experience the edification of who God is and the magnitude of what God is as we walk, as we step into our purpose and into our destiny. And I believe each day that we live, we become who we're meant to be. And so as long as we're in the place of growing, as long as we're in the place of wanting to advance and to do better, as somebody says, to build build others around us, we will ensure that we will not fail. We can't fail. We come from people who have fought the good fight and who didn't die, and their blood is still in our veins, and so for that alone, we must be grateful.
Absolutely. And I'm grateful every single day. Someone asked me, what do I do in the morning? And there's no major routine I mean, I do
Yes,
have one, but
right.
it's very simple. And it's meditation. And I
Uh,
meditate before I come on here. That's why I was like, what? Huh? Huh? Because,
I was trying to call you just before we went on to make sure our camera was right.
got it. We'll figure it out while we're live
Right,
because that's
right,
the beautiful thing. Let me tell you, this is a beautiful thing about going live.
right.
The wig can get twisted,
Oh
the
man,
makeup can smear.
golly.
There's no makeup people behind
Right,
me. This is
right,
it. The
right,
sound may not work, so I got to be like freaking out. Hold on, guys. And it's
right,
live and it's real and it's authentic. So I love doing these and I love when things don't
yeah,
always work out because that's life. And
right.
I want to just chill. I want to learn how to chill during this time. I don't want to sit up and even though I still talk with my hands because on TV you do
Yes,
that, and I just want to chill and have a conversation, even though
awesome.
I have a scatterbrain, so I have to write down certain questions so that
I'm
I
here
don't
for it.
forget them.
I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
So tell me some of your values. I know that we definitely talked about the youth and all of the organizations and the amazing people that you are connected with. But if you had to describe some of your values, what would that look like?
The first value I'll say is the moniker that I've created for myself is stand in the truth of who you are. It's my mantra. Have the opportunity to stand firm in who you are, quirks and all. I mean, the reality is you are who you are. God has made you who you are. And so, it's so hard to try to be somebody else. Be yourself. Stand in that place. Everything like you will understand who you are, and everything unlike you will also understand who you are. So stand in that place. I believe that you should treat people with love and respect, no matter who they are. Human being to human being, as I mentioned before, we all experience the same things in different ways, and our responsibility is to sit in that place and to give and be the love that I believe God is to us.
I have to take a moment. That is absolutely amazing. Yes, because for a very long time, I did not know who Sharon
Yeah,
Tell was. I
right.
let everyone else on the outside define who she was. And I was just totally lost in the world, like walking through the
Yeah,
woods with no internet connection to find my way back home. And eventually I said, no, you are amazing. Like, what the heck is going on here?
yeah.
you,
You're
like
awesome.
that's a really good thing. Yeah, absolutely. And
Absolutely.
that comes to one of these quotes that I seen you post. And it says, listening to your voice drowns out others people's expectation of you.
Oh my gosh, you did your research. That was a
I,
post. That was something I wrote to myself one morning. And I decided that when you listen to yourself, it drowns out of all other expectations. The reality is when you listen to you, you're listening to the presence of God inside of you, and nothing else really matters. You know what I mean? I think a vision is only loyal to someone who can be trusted. And many of the times, God will give you a vision that's for you, and you might be the interruption in your bloodline. This is what is so fantastic. You all by yourself might be that interruption. So when you have an inner desire, when you have that gnawing in your spirit, when you feel like I should be over here and not here, or maybe I need to move, or maybe right, you are the
uh-huh.
person who is forging a new way. And sometimes, listen, life does not give us a manual. There's no right or wrong way of how to do things. But you know what? You love to speak to people, and you're a people person, and you're able to work with some extraordinary people here in the world. Why? Because you had a can-do spirit on the inside of you that said you can. So anytime somebody says
Uh,
you can't, you got to convert that to I can, and it is possible. And as I mentioned before, just know that the atmosphere is pregnant with possibility. Whatever you think, whatever you desire, you can achieve because it is possible, all because you're here.
oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. I received that. I know someone else
Awesome.
does. He said,
Awesome.
Winston Studios, he says that I do research like Einstein. No, I just, what
Yeah.
happened is that before entertainment, I worked as an EMT for 15 years.
Right.
And, working in healthcare, you have to really take notes on a person's history. You got to know where they're from, who they're connected to when you're asking about their family,
Yeah.
medical history. And I've taken literally everything that I've learned, working out there in such a
Yeah.
stressful environment, and I put it into entertainment. So you think about it, like, I want to know who you are, where you from, what did that look like for you, what kind of experience was that, what did it
Hmm.
teach you, who are you inspired by, all of those things. Those questions just come automatically because you're genuinely interested in the
Right.
person that's sitting in front of you, and you want to listen to learn. So I always bring my pen because I'm writing, and I'm always
Awesome.
learning and looking to learn something.
Sure,
How do
until your
you
audience
Yeah,
is
go
so
ahead.
awesome. I'm just watching some of the comments, It's so
Oh, go
amazing.
ahead.
Wasted Studio says, "What books do you read?" Oh my gosh, I read so
Ooh,
many
that's a good one.
different books. One of the
Yeah, the
books,
comments are coming so
they're
fast.
so
I'm like,
rapid, like so many people, it's hard to see. One of the books that I've read is The Spirit of a Man, by Ian Van Zandt. I just so happen to have that here. The
I'm
Motivation
so glad you asked
Manifesto.
that.
I think the Bible is a great book. I'm a believer, and I understand that all that I need is captured in that Bible. I read a lot of biographies and a lot of things about people who have done it already. Right? You read somebody's autobiography, you're getting 30 years of their life in 2 hours, or however long it takes you to read the book. So that's what I read.
That is such a cool question. I'm so glad you've seen that because I've been trying to keep up with the comments, but
Yeah,
they're
I'm
just way
looking.
too fast. I was on Clubhouse last night and I was in a room and I asked one of the leaders that I
Right.
said, "What do you read?" Because that's all I want to know. Like, I want to continue to expand my mind daily. So
Right.
I definitely take that. I don't take it for granted at all. Knowing that my grandmother, she couldn't read. Like, how did she do it? I still think about, like, God rest her soul, but how did she do it? Because this is phenomenal to be able to have the
Yeah,
gift of reading.
for sure.
But back then, she had to take care of her sisters and brothers. Her mother and father had died, and
Yeah.
here she is in Little Rock, Arkansas, taking care of the family. So,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. Well, cheers. We're gonna say cheers to your grandmother.
Cheers.
Always cheers
Yes.
to your grandmother. We sip to her.
Thriving in a toxic world is what that says.
I love it.
Yes, the gift of reading. Oh, he said, wow, that touched him. That is
Wow, that's so
absolutely
good.
amazing. True icon. There definitely must be talking about you. Now you got me engaged into the comments because they were coming so fast.
So
I
good.
want everyone to know that we really appreciate you being here. How do
Absolutely, my
you
pleasure.
how do you measure success as a leader?
Oh man. Well, I think leadership, if you have no followers, you're not a leader. Let me say that.
Okay,
I think that's
let's start.
important, right? I think that, and success to me is having the opportunity and the ability that I can go to my bed at night knowing that I don't owe anybody anything, that I've,
Uh-huh.
treated people with the utmost respect. I always result to that. It's my pet peeve. I hate people who are unkind, and I think people should just be kind to one another. I mean, think about it. If you are kind to one person, you create a firestorm of positivity, no matter who you are. I've met people with money. I've met people who have the spotlight. I've met great people, as you mentioned. I've
Mhm.
interviewed and worked with some extraordinary celebrities, and some of them I would want to be their friends because their character, their character has not developed, or their character has not brought them to a place that is worthy to even follow who they are. They have
Mhm.
success, but the interesting thing is when you have that amount of money, or you have that pull, it only intensifies who you are.
It brings a real big light, like a bigger light. Like
Right?
these lights right
Right.
here, they're
Yeah.
huge. If you
Right.
can
You and
see
I
them,
spoke
they're real
about that
big.
privately, right? We spoke about that one morning privately. We were on the phone.
Yeah,
Right. It only
yeah.
intensifies who you are. So if you are a mean person and you have money, you're going to be a mean person with money. But if you're giving and you're loving and you want to help the world, and you believe that, your money can be used as an extension to help other people, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have money to help other people, and you're going to get success. So that works.
That works. I had to make sure I put
You
it
missed
down,
the
but I think I
W. You
missed
missed the
one.
W.
Ah, yes.
ILUWAM.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm moving.
It's all good. ILUWAM. I'm so happy
And
to be here with you.
I am so excited and so grateful that you're here with me.
You forgot the
No, I was
W
making
again. ILUWAM. My
Oh, that
first
wasn't
name
me.
spelled
That was
backwards.
someone
I got
else.
it. I
They
got
already picked it up.
it.
Oh, aren't people fast? Like I just
Quick.
made the error and
You have the
see
best
how the PR
audience.
thing works.
You
See
have the
how the
best
PR thing
audience.
works.
Absolutely.
People can take your word and grab it real quick and
Yeah.
already have it posted all like a meme, making a meme
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chantel, what the
Yeah.
heck?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So let's talk about, oh my goodness. Congratulations. But I'm going to bring up your page in a moment. You just recently won this community influencer award. Look
Yeah.
at that. Look at that smile, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, the Black Diamond Ball too, were the entertainers and all of the glam and the fashion and everyone
Yeah.
all in one place.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, he is a trendsetter. Tell me about it. What did that feel like?
You
What was the experience this year? How did that go?
Well, first of all, they did an excellent production. Sean Cuffey and his team here in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
They do a preeminent event, so they had people like Brandy in the past and a series of other people who come out and perform. And I think they had Tank last year, and a series of different people who've come. Andrea Day, I believe, came in their first year. So it's kind of this extravagant kind of experience, if you will, that's here, and all our community comes out in their best wares to really celebrate Black History Month at the end of the month. So they've had to pivot. But to get the award really signifies to me that other people are paying attention and other people see the
Uh-huh.
work that you have done. And so I am honored, I'm privileged, I am so glad and happy that this award came in this time because it tells me every time I feel like I want to quit or that my contribution isn't enough, that it is enough. And so the award has been so great. And I wish before I came on camera, I pulled it so I can show you guys exactly how it looks, but you have the picture.
I, I had to bring the picture. For some reason, usually when I go live, I can add the pictures to the live. I don't know if they took that
I
away
think
when
they
they
change
updated it.
things. Yeah,
They
I think they
changed it, didn't
change
they?
things all the
I guess
time.
things have to change. Right, exactly. And I still brought the picture. So they didn't
You're
stop.
amazing.
They didn't stop the show, that's for sure. How do you feel about this digital world? Like right now in the climate that we're in, how do
Yeah.
you feel? Like how has it impacted your business?
I love it. I mean, I run something called Iconic Media Group. And the reality is, we've all had to shift and move into this virtual space. And it also has given us access to things and people that we've never had access to before. So, on that level, I
Yeah.
want to look at the positive. I think that, it has brought people together in such a way that we
Yes.
have immediate access. I've been able to use it to my benefit to ensure that the clients that I work with, put together a project that is seamless and something that works. I mentioned one of the people who I worked with is an MP here. She's in Parliament, uh, a Black woman here in Parliament who was able to use her platform to inform Canada about Black Lives Mattering and what it took to get community leaders to speak about the issues together. Another project that I do is I'm a vice president for the Ontario Black History Society, and we recently took a textbook, a grade 8 textbook, 265 pages, and only 15 of those pages articulated with detail the history Black Canadians have done in this climate, in this society. And so
That is
we're,
amazing.
yeah, so we're pushing the government, we're asking the government unequivocally to systematically create the change from kindergarten to grade 12 to ensure that our history in this country is learnt by every Black child and every non-Black child because our history is important. We have 400 years of a history that needs to be acknowledged. And it also interspersed with our neighbors across the way, right, in America. And so We're
Yeah,
pushing
because
for that
that's
message.
definitely the same thing here. So that's good that you're starting that because
Yeah,
it's going to send a vibration and a wave over to somewhere
right,
else, and they're going to be like, "Oh, yeah, that's a good
right.
idea." And you know,
Absolutely.
yeah, because it needs that. I remember not really learning much about the history at all, other than what was passed
Crazy.
down to me from my dad and my grandmother, and what I started to open my mind up to with opening the
Yes.
book. You know what
Right.
I mean? But
Right.
not sitting in the classroom and doing that. And I remember in college, I went all girl Catholic,
Uh-huh.
okay, college. And even there was like African American woman history, but
Right.
it was still kind of not really. It was like, here, we're going to give you a little something, be quiet, you know, like, here you go. And that was it, send you on your way. So I think it
Yeah.
is important to introduce that because it was introduced to me later on. I mean, of course,
Of
the
course.
experiences, but like actually reading up on it and studying and taking an exam and
Yeah.
seeing what I've learned and retained, all of those things didn't
Yeah.
happen until college for me. That
To
was my
thyself be
experience.
true, know thyself.
Yeah.
If we don't have a pattern from which to work, then we're a lost generation. You know what I mean? The other communities know about themselves, and that's what make them have the legacy of bouncing back and doing what needs to be done. Right? We need to do the same.
Absolutely, we need to do the same. I love it. Let me see, where are we? Okay, so I want to say I got to pay the bills. I always wanted to say that because the radio says that.
Right?
So, so now I got an opportunity to say that. That is so cool. I got to shout out my sponsor though. I do have a sponsor.
I
It's
love that.
10K. I love it too. This is such a great climate to be in because I have a digital business here, 10K cards. So I don't know if you got a chance to look at it, but this is your QR code. And the cool thing about this is like if you do Zoom meetings, like I'm tired of Zoom. Zoom,
Right.
Zoom, Zoom. I'm actually tired of Zoom.
Right.
But we do a lot of these Zoom meetings and you can put this up, right? And you can like
Wow.
scan it and they can get all of your information all in one. Hey, you
Wow.
want to reach out to me? You don't got to go everything, your email, your
Wow.
websites, your payment plan, booking and consultations. You can
Wow.
add that to it. Everything literally in one central place. So, because you've given me your gift of time, your gift of wisdom, your gift of
Oh,
knowledge, your gift of your love and your energy and your space, this is my way. Ah! This is my
thank you
way
so
of saying,
much.
this is what it looked like if you put it on the
My
bookmark. It
goodness.
literally looks like your own
Wow.
app. Yep, yep. And the good thing about it is that it doesn't use up space like
Okay.
other apps do because it's cloud based.
Right.
So when you put it on there, you'll be like, oh, okay, I'm right under Netflix. This is cool. To have your face on there, like, ah. So shout out
That
to
is
Get Cards.
so great. Thank you for that gift. Just
You're
before we went
so
on,
welcome.
just before we went on, I saw it. I said, "Well, how do I use this?" So, I mean, thank you. So, that is amazing.
Yes, and you can airdrop. So you can be across the room at an event with your
Come
mask
on.
on
Come
and
on.
send them your card.
Come on.
Yeah.
What up?
Yeah,
Get your
it's so many
cards.
things you can do with this card, and this is a perfect environment for it right now. It's
Oh,
digital.
man.
So anyone is interested in getting their own card, they can click the link in my bio and purchase their
So
card. But this is a
great.
gift to you. Thank you
Thank you.
so
I
much for
appreciate that
being
so much.
here.
Thanks so much. That's so awesome.
Oh yeah, tell them about the event. Oh, so I went recently to Brooklyn. I spoke at a mental health event. I was
Somebody
so
says, I don't
nervous.
mean to interrupt. Somebody says, I want you on the cover of a magazine. DM me. I mean, you have the
There you
information.
go.
DM,
See?
let's go.
You're on the comments. That is so funny. Um, Anthony Hamilton was on some weeks back, right?
Yeah.
And he was so engaged. I'm like, thank you. Keep up with the comments because I do not.
Oh,
I am
man.
not looking down there.
Your
That is so
audience is so
cool.
beautiful. They have so much love for you. The comments are so wonderful. They're calling you
They're
iconic. They
no,
are
they're
saying that
calling
you're
you that.
wonderful. Hey, it's funny because I have a company, Iconic Media. It's iconic Media GRP on here as well. If
Yes.
you just hit me up at Iluam, ILUWAM. And it's funny, I got to tell you something. You asked me about Oprah earlier. So the reality is, I began to kind of pattern myself a little bit off Miss Winfrey. So Iluam is like her Harpo. Do you get that? Oprah spelled backwards. It's my name spelled backwards, and then you manifest it. And so I
That
just
right.
believe the real picture,
Oh,
me and
this is
Miss
a real
Winfrey.
picture. I
Yeah.
love.
Can I tell you something too? We're in her trailer, and everybody on set was kind of like, "Who is this guy? Who is this guy?" Because she never lets anybody in her trailer. So that's us in her trailer. We spent the day. They shot all day. A good friend of mine, Derek Rutledge, who does her makeup as well, introduced. She was so awesome. Everything that you see on TV is who she is and more. And we were able to take that picture. So that's me and Miss Winfrey, and I'm forever grateful.
I absolutely love that
Yeah,
story. Thank you so much
yeah,
for sharing that. And I love the fact that she is who you see on TV
most
because
definitely.
sometimes they're not the same.
Let me tell you, this lady was so loving and kind. You know that she's in control and in charge.
Hmm.
She had also tweeted me thereafter. She's everything and more. She's like a magician. Because, I mean, everything that you hope for and desire, she makes happen. And I can understand why she has experienced the success that she has because there's some reverence there. You can see in her eye that you guys are here for me kind of thing. So
Hmm.
that's my Oprah story.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that. Thank you.
You're
Wow.
welcome.
No, I need to ask. Hey, tell me the story. Inspiring Decisions. Hello. She's a global speaker. She's the reason why I
Awesome.
started my last business. I started an international business. So, and
Okay.
she's the inspiration behind that. We did not know each other personally at
Right.
first. She was doing a webinar and she spoke about global business and she looked
Okay.
like me. And
Wow.
I said, right? And I said, oh, and I was taking notes and she was telling different things about, proper etiquette, when you go into different cultures, words that we think is cool here, it always sticks with me is hustle, 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 because we love to say that word. But in other countries, they can actually take that as a disrespect. And I
Right.
said, wow. And I just wrote it down and I've just been following her for some years. And recently she was here on the show as well. Yep, we got to speak, and
So
I just
awesome.
cried through the interview. I'm like,
Oh, so awesome. Well, you have such a unique way of connecting with people. We were on Clubhouse one night. You came on. We connected. We find that our stories mirror each other. I was a young writer who, at 13, was just inquisitive, wanted to find out what celebrity life was. Do they eat hamburgers when they get off TV? Like, are they doing regular things kind of thing? And it caused me to interview some of the greats.
I
And
absolutely love it.
that translated into writing and meeting wonderful people. So it's just what it is. And I think, we shared stories. I mean, Diggable Planets, Tevin Campbell, Queen Latifah, Oprah, all these people that I got an opportunity to sit with and speak with and share ideas with. And then you become friends with publicists, and then you become a publicist working with these people. I mean, it's so, so wonderful and so, so great.
So, do you think, for me, my experience, Publicist just literally found me. I didn't know
Hmm.
that that was even a thing.
Yeah.
Speaking found me as well, but I don't know if it actually found me. I seen it, because I was a speaker in college, so I kind of seen that portion, but I
Yeah.
didn't see the PR portion of me, and it was absolutely an amazing experience to share the stage with Bishop T.D. Jakes and
Come
Dr.
on.
Oz and little me in the
Come
middle.
on. Come on, Sharanta.
And
Are
I'm
you
talking about
kidding?
in stature, not
Come
in.
on.
Yeah,
That's because you're great.
I was truly honored. But by that time, I had already made several appearances on Dr. Eyes, and I was sitting
Yeah.
with Bishop Jakes, and we were talking, and I said, I've been here quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he says that's absolutely amazing. I wish I can get my voice as deep as he is. And he's like, that's absolutely amazing. They must really like you here. And I said, they must really like me. Like this is really cool. They must really like me. And then, we go on more and more to talk. and to find that he does business in Africa. And then at
Man,
that time, I was literally putting together an motivational entrepreneur trip with Sharon Tell over to these 5 different countries
sure.
over near Nigeria, 5.
Right.
And I was going to 2 displaced camps to take over supplies, right?
Okay.
And this is something that I'm doing, never posting on the social media
Wow.
or anything like that. But it was just, you just never know. Sometimes don't have a closed mouth. Just talk to people. You'll find that you're more similar than different. That's amazing.
Absolutely. Sharontel, let me tell you, closed mouths don't get fed.
Not at all.
Now
Not
you
at
got to
all.
open your mouth, and you have to not be afraid to say, this is who I am. Like, I can
Hmm.
do this job. You know what I mean? It's me. Right? Your gifts and talent always make room for you. Scriptures dictate that. But also the reality is no one can do it like you. Right? There are other people out there waiting for you with your gift and your talent. They're waiting so that
Hmm.
you can bless. And so, I mean, like, let's go.
Come on, brother.
Let's
What?
go.
Speaking of that, what's your superpower?
Oh my gosh, what do you mean by superpower?
Like superpower. Like, see, I love Marvel movies, right?
Right, right,
So
right,
they always have this power that's different than everybody else in their group, like
right.
each one of them, right? So
Mm,
if you had to just pick, like for me, I would say I have a few. I have like definitely like 3 of them that I actually I activate. I
right,
like do like Spider-Man and I pull it out every once in a while.
right.
And the 3 is courage, perseverance, and fearlessness, because for so long I was afraid. I'm even a survivor of
Wow.
domestic violence,
Wow.
and
I
I
heard you
had
speak
to.
about that. I heard you
Oh,
speak
I
about a
keep
couple of shows
speaking
ago.
about it. Yeah, I keep
Yeah.
talking about it.
Come
And
on.
I had to pull the courage to actually leave. I needed to be fearless so that
Right.
I can actually step out the door. I mean, because that's a big.
Golly.
People leave as a woman who has survived that
Mm.
craziness, right?
Uh-huh.
You leave like 20 times in your head before you actually leave. And when you
Mm.
do, it takes all of those things. And the perseverance is so important because it's so easy in any situation. I'm just sharing
Mm.
mine. In
Mm.
any situation, to step back and go back to into the same thing, whatever that may have been,
Yes.
whether it's abuse, whether it's just something that's just not conducive to your growth, you can easily go back.
Right.
So I needed those 3 things. So I would say that those are my superpowers. If you had to even just describe just a word, because you're a word man,
What is my
what would
superpower?
your
I
superpower
think my
be?
superpower is to be consistent. The person
Uh-huh.
who was yesterday is the person today. My superpower is to love people. I love people in such an uncanny way. And I know it probably sounds corny, but I love people so fiercely, that I think that translates to people. And it's been the blessing of mine. People will always tell you that Mawuli remains the same. I'm the same if I'm sitting with Oprah Winfrey as I'm with you. I'm the
Mm-hmm.
same if I'm sitting with the Queen of England. To me, the reality is there's no change. You must stand in the truth of who you are. That is my mantra, and I never let it go. Right? Everything like you will
No.
understand who you are, and everything unlike you will understand who you are. So I sit and I dwell in that place.
What was your inspiration behind your business iconic media group?
I've always been an inquisitive child. I want to give people great experiences, and
Uh-huh.
I want to incubate greatness with my business. I want to bring all the people who are proficient in whatever study, whatever field, whatever music industry, whatever that is, and to ensure that I use the platform of my company to lift them up and to edify the world and bring light and positivity to the world. So that's through the digital space, that's through communication. And if you're someone from America and you're coming to this demographic, we're going to blow you up and have you on every local TV station here that is around the country, national as well, to get your story out. I want our stories to uplift and to inspire people like never before. And so that's why I started Iconic Media Group.
I love that. Yes, because I do these conversations because
Mhm.
I want someone to be inspired by these conversations. I want
Awesome.
them to take one thing at least one good thing that they can say, all right, I'm going to incorporate this and
Right.
disrupt the way they've been thinking
I
about
love
whatever
that.
that thing may
I
be,
love that.
and
Yeah.
take that with them. That's very important. I have talked to some people on here where they haven't had that experience of
Right.
living in an urban setting neighborhood, and I always tell them, I'm like, it's fine, it doesn't
Mhm.
matter. Like, we're sharing our experiences. Everybody does not have to come from the mud in order to share
I
a
like
success
that.
story.
I
You know
like
what I
that.
mean?
Absolutely.
Like, no, like, let's have conversation and just share our experiences. So I'm always open to tell my story, because it's just that I didn't say, hey mom, can you bring me to earth? Like, I
Yeah.
didn't get there. Like,
Yeah.
that wasn't a choice of mine.
Absolutely.
So why would I shy away from that? Like, never. I would never shy away from my story. Every time I talk about it, it just frees me even more. Like, the shackles is just like falling off.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like, I needed to go through that so that I can talk to women who may find themselves right now in this situation, and they
Right.
don't think that it's possible to get out and be your best self and live your best life. And I'm telling you, it is. There's women I brought on here who,
Mm.
they're screenwriters, they're,
Right.
fashion runway models, and she survived it. I survived it. We
Wow.
can survive it, right?
Well, Sharon, here's the deal. You might be the only Bible that somebody reads.
Yeah.
So when they look at you, they see possibility, they see hope, they see
Mm-hmm.
restoration, they see a positive woman who is doing her due, who's beautiful and wonderful.
Oh, our sound went out. Oh, you're back.
Okay,
Yep.
got it. So I said, when I
See?
look at you, I see what possibilities are. Somebody was just calling, so I think that
Oh,
interrupts,
that's
right?
a
But when I see you, I see hope, I see
Mhm.
possibilities. And I was saying that you might be the only Bible that somebody reads. And, we're not all going to go to church, and you don't have to, because you are, right? But the reality
Right.
is that you are the hope and the possibility expressed as yourself. And that's where it goes. Somebody said, sorry, had a call. They LOL'd. Okay, got it.
See, they're
Your
already
audience
doing
is so
it.
loving. Look at all your audience laughing and hearts. To
I'm
everyone
sure they,
joining, thank you so much.
I'm sure we have a mixture of your peeps too, because
Oh, I
these are
see
not
them
all
here.
my peeps.
I see them in here. One Dove, Jade Lass, Queen Leonie underscore Psychic Queen Leonie. Love who she is. How are you? Good to see you. There's so many people in the room.
You
I'm just
you want to
watching the
know something
comments.
funny? Yeah, no, do your thing. You know what? To know something really funny? This
Mm.
is the thing about going live. I didn't change my background. This was for another show that I did,
Wow.
and I
Wow.
just realized, because I'm like, it's not sunny. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's
Yeah.
late in the
Yeah.
day.
So awesome.
I know, that's so funny, because I'm looking in the background, right? And I'm looking on the
Right.
screen,
Can
and
I
I'm
can
like,
I just take the time to read some of the names? Heart
please
Soldier, the
do.
Jasmine Lee team, Chad Whitaker, 80. Hey, how you doing? Wherever you are in the world, I'm Mawuli Chai. Sassy 724. Now I do this thing called Your Morning Chai on my page, so I
I
always
love
shouting people
that.
out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Giving you a little bit of chai. Mickey Falker 12. And everybody else who's here to see you. Hey, how you doing? It's so good to see you.
Exactly. So that's why a lot of times I started in the beginning. I say, you come on like 5 minutes later so
Right.
that I can say hello to
Right,
everybody.
right, for sure, for sure. Such a
And
beautiful
then it just
audience.
goes like, wow. Let me
Yeah,
tell you, when I first started, it was two people on here, and I went like it was a whole big audience. We were
yes.
just going. And I said, yep, keep on going. I'm like, consistency, consistency. So that's a good thing. I put one of your superpowers. Give me that power.
You got
Consistency.
to be
So you
consistent
gotta stay
always.
consistent. So yeah, it's been
Absolutely,
growing. There's Tamika
absolutely.
Lee. Oh,
Oh,
yep,
there's a
here we go.
person saying again, I want you on the cover of a magazine. DM, I don't know who that's for, but
Mm-hmm.
DM us. Let us know what's
Alita
going on.
Braun. She got to be. I know. Probably talking about you, definitely for sure.
So
Oh,
awesome.
you like both backgrounds? Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, I did this really cool podcast, and I was like, oh, let me make it feel sunny, like so I can be real happy. Oh my goodness. So, here we go. We still got time.
Awesome. I'm
What
here with
what
you.
is your driving force? To keep moving forward. What keeps you?
In 2013, I had visited Ghana, Africa, and I had an opportunity to go to that slave dungeon, and I realized that I can't fail my driving force. I have a niece, great family, and I want to be situated in a place where I have enough money to take care of them and take care of others around me. So my driving force is to ensure that I'm well, I'm healthy, I'm doing what I need to do to make money, and I love people, so I want to, as I mentioned, use the platform to ensure that I'm working with some of the world's finest and greats, because I believe that I'm wonderful and great, and to ensure that their story is heard around the world, to create healing and love and create a smile on people's face. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, you definitely do that. I think like as soon as I get on the phone, I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, you're like, I'm just laughing and you haven't even said anything
my
yet
word.
because I know that you're going to say something that at some point in that conversation, you're going to laugh. Like
Right,
that's guaranteed.
right.
That's why I love your morning chai
Oh, thank
because,
you.
yeah, because you're going to laugh. Like
Yeah.
it's a guarantee.
Yeah,
So
my
I
host
love it.
Quest Green. Quest Green used to be a part of Tribe Called Quest. He used to be the hype man for Tribe Called Quest. He's a relationship specialist. So shout out to my co-host. And we get together, and
Oh,
the beauty of the show is that it's two men who are sharing their perspective and their feeling in such a, and we talk about all kind of stuff. Welcome to the shenanigans. It's your morning chai. If you get the opportunity, come on and join us and add your voice to the show.
oh my goodness, that is absolutely amazing. No, I love that. Um, let's talk about I talked about fear. What is your relationship with it? Because now I'm in love with fear. I mean, it definitely continues to introduce me to things that I maybe have not been paying attention to, and it makes my life better. It really does. It makes my life better. And I feel so,
Wow.
I hug myself when I face it, when I
Right.
acknowledge whatever that is that I may
Right.
be feeling a fear of. But what is your relationship with it? I know
Well,
that
I
people
think
say it's an illusion.
I think you said it all. Fear is false expectations appearing real. And I think
Mm.
once you invite fear in, it moves you. I believe on the other side of fear is glory and faith and a wonder. And so many times when you have that little bit of pee that's dripping down your leg, that's your indication, as the Lavenzant says, to move forward and do the thing that you got to do. So sometimes fear
Oh.
really is the very thing that is the source of inspiration that gives you the opportunity to move forward and beyond that space of, right? So fear to me is ammunition. When I feel fearful for something, I must do it. I must, because I know on the other side of that there's great hope and faith and possibility, which
It's
is my favorite
absolutely
word. It's
necessary,
necessary.
right?
It's necessary. Emily Dickinson says, I dwell in this place of possibility. That is one of my favorite words. When you
Oh, that's
begin to
beautiful.
say it's possible, man, the world is your oyster.
Mm. Confidence is your forte,
Thank you.
someone says.
Thank
I
you.
caught a comment. I
Thank you.
got you.
I, appre- I appreciate it.
I got you. Yes, that is so important. Let me share a quick story.
Sure.
So, a little while ago, me and my son, we went river tubing, right?
Okay.
In my mind, I'm thinking, you get in the tube like in the pool.
Yeah.
I was not really thinking like the whole experience of the river taking us.
Yes.
And so we were in the river. There was a couple of things in the river. They call it a rapid. It's almost like a mini tornado is what I call it because it
Okay.
definitely takes you under. Like you go in and
Okay.
then you come back up. So we hit a couple of those. We're going down. We're relaxing. We're chilling. It's a grandest day.
Yes.
And then eventually he ends up in the swamp. And I'm like, can you just swim over? He's an avid swimmer. He swims better than me. I don't understand. He's
Okay.
stuck. He's afraid of the bugs. He has a bug
Oh,
phobia.
wow.
So he's like freaking out. He's not moving. Like he's just there. And I'm like, come on, I'm right here. Like literally, we weren't that
Yes.
far apart. And he wouldn't. So we had to climb up this very high mountain. And we were already 3.5 hours out in the river.
Okay.
And so somehow a pastor came and we were able to get our ride back. But we had to climb and it made it so much harder. I say this story because it just made the journey so much harder
Right.
because he didn't want to face his fear. Had he faced his fear, he would have realized that we were almost at the end of the trail and we would have been like, we did it, we
Right, 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 right,
finished.
right.
You know, he didn't give that opportunity of feeling that joy. He made our journey hard. We had to
Right,
walk up this mountain. Had he slipped one time, that would have been it. My son would have been out of here, and I would have been out of here if I would have made a slip. That's
right,
how crazy it was.
right.
So I always try to bring up that story sometimes anytime I talk about fear, because it's literally just like that. Like, you're this close, right? This close, almost there to the finish
Right.
line, and then you get afraid and you start thinking about what other people might say about you and what may happen and what may I lose and all of these things, and you never get there. You never get to feel that feeling of what it feels like to actually face it. So that's a great thing, that you have a great relationship with fear. That's beautiful.
You're so awesome. And I mean, man, thank you so much for
So
this
are you.
platform.
So are you.
Thank,
Like attracts like, for sure. Yes. Oh,
thank you.
thank you so much. Like, choose your path, people, choose it. I always say that you can, literally create the life that you want. You have to believe that it's possible. And I
Right.
used to say trust the process, but I'm starting to change that and say fall in love with it. Like,
Mm,
literally
I
fall
love that. Falling
in
in love with the
love with
process.
the process.
Because
Fall
when
in
you
love
fall in
with
love
it.
with the process, you know that you can't fail. That's what I said earlier, right? That when you fall
Come
in love with
on.
that process,
What does that look like when you fall in love?
oh my God, with the process, you mean?
With the process, what does that look
Being
like?
excited, having faith, feel as if the thing has already happened. That's what it looks like for me. I have a real gift to see the end. I know how I want things to look and how I want them to be. And because of that, when you asked earlier, what's the drive? That's the driving force. I know what it is, and I know if I'm feeling something, somebody else is feeling the same thing. And so even when I do a production or when I have an artist who's in town and we're doing the media circuit, the reality is I know that that person wants to be seen, heard, validated, loved, right? The idea that we're cultivating your story and editing it in such a way so it's palpable for others to hear and experience is enough. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
that for me is a driving force because, as I said to you earlier, I love people. I really, really love people fiercely, and giving them the platform and the opportunity to share that story is bar none to me.
I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Sure.
I'm trying to wave. We have people that are joining at the end, guys. That means that you're going to have to watch the replay.
Okay. Good.
I'm telling them they're going to have to watch the replay. Tell me, are there anything that we can start looking out for before I ask you my last question?
I didn't hear that. Do that once again.
Anything, like any projects or anything that we can look forward to before I ask you my last question?
Well, my company, we're going to be doing something called Iconic Conversations real soon. It is
Mm-hmm.
going to be an institute that gives you the opportunity to some of the world and industry's finest. We're going to be unveiling that in a few months to make that happen. We're working on it right now. It's a conversation that invites you to be a part of this school, institute of leaders and icons who have affected the world, and you get an opportunity to meet with them, speak with them directly, ask them questions in a closed institute. So that's Iconic Conversations. Those are coming up real soon. And
That's iconic.
yes, and then one of my clients who's really great, Timothy Snell. We just started to do a talk show with him on IG.
Mm-hmm.
This week, earlier part of this week, he spoke to Bevy Smith, and before that, he spoke to Sergio Hudson, who
Oh, yeah, I seen that one.
addressed the First Lady. Michelle Obama, and so we have great speakers who are coming through there. So my company is producing that as well. Iconic Media is doing that as well. So we're excited just to really inspire people through these conversations, and you're able to see that interview on at Timothy Snell 1, and you're able to see those pages. And if you have any questions, just hit me at Luam or
I
at Iconic
definitely
Media.
will. Wow. Yeah, I pinned that one up.
Yeah.
I like that. So now here we are at the end. She may be saying hello to you, Coco_Orange.
Yeah, that's one of my viewers. We actually went walking the
Oh.
other day. Hey, Coco Orange, how you doing? Hey, my people from Toronto.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so at the end of each show, I always ask a question. And the question is if you could give us one word or a sentence, something to help us, motivate us, inspire us as we continue to move forward on our life journey.
Truth can stand alone. Honor needs no defense. Critics will never believe me, and my friends will stay the same.
Ah, wow, that's pretty loaded. I'm going to have to replay this so I can write that
Yeah.
down. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Wow.
I appreciate
Mm.
it. Bless you. I really do love you.
Mm-mm-mm.
And your ears are so kind. Choose your
Yes,
path.
choose your path. Thank
Good to
you.
see
Wow,
you.
love. Good to see you too. Love, light, and energy as you continue on this journey
Thank
and continue to stay safe. Yes,
I
yes,
will.
yes.
You too, and your family as well.
Thank you. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you all being here. Thank you.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.